Right, I think we are live. First ever one. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? So we just had Johnson's speech. Here we go again. All right, so Northerners United, first ever live stream. Hopefully we get some guys on this watching. But yeah, what did you guys think of it? The speech? Comment below. I think obviously he started off saying that it could have been a catastrophe. Again, for me, a lack of acknowledgement of what has been a catastrophe. Obviously, we've had that number of deaths, and I think official figure is nearly 32,000 today, but obviously we know it's higher than that. He laid out the roadmap, so for what ultimately the way he sees the economy going back to normal, people's lives going back to normal. But it just feels like they are playing catch up. It feels like they are dealing with it in the moment, so to speak. He moved on to say about going back to work, mentioned industries like construction and manufacturing. Can they social distance? Is it even possible in those environments? Because there was obviously those issues before lockdown, and like people like myself who could work from home with a laptop, but then people in construction still at work weren't able to do so. Obviously encouraging, one good thing was he was encouraging us to obviously use transport less, and use our car or bike, ideally bike, which is better for the environment obviously. But yeah, trains, if people are going, because obviously he said where possible, how many of us can go to work, and some of us don't have a car. Are the trains going to be overwhelmed? We don't know. And then you mentioned about parks and unlimited time outside, essentially. Yeah. Are we going to have the parks around as they were this weekend, bank holiday weekend? Many parks were people social distancing, but sunbathing, lounging around, essentially. If they get crowded, it's inevitable what's going to happen. I don't think you need me to tell you. And finally, those entering the UK, finally they have to actually quarantine for 14 days, which is long overdue. The economy will take a hit, the travel industry, but ultimately it's something that we've got to grin and bear, because you have to value humans' lives over people's lives over the economy. The people are the economy. But yeah, I think it's always good to remember, obviously this situation is affecting us worldwide, and sometimes we can get caught up in our own situation here in the UK. Like, comment, subscribe, by the way. But yeah, globally, the numbers are getting higher and higher. 1 in 1,000 humans approximately have contracted the virus, which is ridiculously high. 1 in 28,000 have died to date, approximately. But yeah, the new slogan from Johnson: stay alert, control the virus, save lives. What does stay alert mean to you? Comment below, because that can be interpreted differently, can't it? What does it mean to you? How do we stay alert to a microscopic organism? One way is obviously social distancing, but we can see Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, our neighbours, they've maintained the stay-at-home message. Should we have done that? I don't know, you tell me. It's almost as if when you splashed all over the front pages that the lockdown's going to be lifted, or eased at least, people actually believe it. On Wednesday, Johnson suggested that the lockdown would be eased. On Wednesday night, senior government officials briefed the press that we'd be moving out of lockdown. And then on Thursday, the papers printed exactly that. And then you come to Friday, VE Day celebrations, street parties going on, and there's just too many parks with too many people in them, essentially. So don't be surprised if we see a second spike. Let's have it right. It's lethal negligence, putting it plain and simple. All I can say is that for me, nothing changes, and hopefully for you. For me, I'm going to keep going as I am. Stay at home. Only go out when absolutely necessary. And hopefully you do too. But yeah, moving on to a bit of a kind of timeline of what has occurred over the last 2 months. If we discount San Marino, it's like we've got the highest number of deaths per million people, according to the recent Financial Times assumptions. We know our figures underreported, like many countries. We can assume that. 4 guys in the house. Nice one, guys, for liking the video. Thank you. That's it, Asim. If the senses start tingling, you've got to leg it. You've got to think about you and your family. And if we all do that, this R rate will go down rapidly. So let's go back to March the 3rd. There was a meeting of the Independent Scientific Pandemic Influenza Group on Behaviours. They're the ones that advise SAGE, the one we always hear about, SAGE, the Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies, which advise the government. So on March the 3rd, they told the government that they should advise us against greetings such as shaking hands and hugging. Instead, encourage us to politely decline. On the same day, Johnson told us that he shook hands with everyone at a hospital, including those with coronavirus, and that people must make up their own minds. So are the scientists leading the government, or is it the other way around? What do you think? If I tell you that they've not been transparent with us at all with regards to the science, you can make your own mind up as to why that might be. Did the government do the right things at the right time? Shake your head, not your hands. SAGE said things and were told things in private that contradict what they said in public. The government's initial strategy was herd immunity, let's have it right. At a private engagement at the end of February, Dominic Cummings, Johnson's chief of staff, if you like, his main advisor, outlined the government strategy. Those present say it was herd immunity, protect the economy, and if some pensioners die, then too bad. Cummings' job is to get Johnson re-elected. Yeah, that's his job. Whereas independent scientists, yeah, they're employed by the government, but they should be following the science. And the thing is, there's incentives and vested interests all over the shop, and it gets very, very messy. Johnson suggested that the UK would be the country ready to take off its Clark Kent spectacles, or that's Superman for you that don't know, and leap into the phone booth and emerge with its cloak flowing as the supercharged champion. So he was thinking, we can go this solo, be the one that doesn't really go into any form of lockdown, see what happens, and essentially just hope for the best and come out on the other side stronger than everyone else. He's living in a fantasy land. Then we go to the 5th of March. So on ITV, their popular show This Morning with Philip and Holly, he said that's where a lot of debate has been. Theories is that perhaps you could take it on the chin, he said. Take it all in one go and allow the disease, as it were, to move through the population without taking as many draconian measures. I think it would be better if we take all the measures that we can now to stop the peak of the disease. So that essentially is herd immunity. We all get it. Some of us die, all of us die, and then it just goes away because it's got nowhere else to spread to, because most of us are immune. They quickly changed tack on that. The chief scientific advisor, Sir Patrick Vallance, he said that suppressing the spread of the disease is not desirable. So if herd immunity wasn't their strategy, they came out afterwards vociferously saying, oh no, it was never our strategy. Why theorize and mention it at all? Our Prime Minister initially wanted us to avoid any form of lockdown. He jovially bragged about shaking hands with coronavirus patients, and he touted one approach that we take it on the chin. It's clear what their priorities were, or at least were. And on a human level, we all know what that means. You had Cheltenham, 250,000 people over 4 days, from the 10th to the 13th of March. Yeah, the World Health Organization arguably were, to blame. But when you look at it, Ireland, they cancelled St. Patrick's Day on the 9th of March. So we could have taken the same action that they did, and locked it all down. We had the game at Anfield against Atletico Madrid. 3,000 fans from Madrid, where the epidemic was much worse than it was here. How that's changed. And just lies as well, just lies from Johnson. He said in one press briefing that we'd gone into lockdown at an earlier point on our curve than Italy, Spain, and France, and it's just not true. We went down earlier. We went into lockdown earlier than Italy, yeah, but not earlier than France and Spain. The care home epidemic, that's going to be a separate topic. We'll do a separate video on that for you guys, because yeah, that's a catastrophe in and of itself. Testing as well. We'll do another video on that separately. And hospitals and PPE. I know the video with Kaleem was very popular, so we will we'll do one on that again for you guys, and see what the situation's like in trusts around the UK at the moment. But now is the time to critically analyse what is actually going on. People are saying, "Oh, we shouldn't analyse the government and the downfalls. We should just leave it till the end and analyse retrospectively." It's nonsense. Let's drill down into the facts, keep it factual, use the evidence to determine the stark reality of the current situation. Because it's too easy to turn a blind eye. It's easy to just sit back, let everything go on, not really take an interest in it, and see what happens. But if we can hold those in power to account and speak truth to power, that's how we can all progress as a society. We have time on our side. It's like we had time on our side. Imagine if we didn't. Jesus. The government failed to act in a timely manner, and now for them it's damage limitation. They lost a crucial 5 weeks to tackle the threat of COVID-19, knowing that they were in a perilously poor state of preparation. And if you fail to prepare, you know the rest. What they're bothered about is perception. Don't let Johnson's newborn, the fact that he contracted COVID, and all this kind of stuff distract from what really is going on. They're just playing us like they played Brexit. They're seeing what washes with the public, what makes them look good. It's the hitting of targets, fake news again. How many have actually been conducted? How many have been carried out? The words carried out have been taken out of government graphics, because now they're looking at capacity instead of actual tests. We need to know how many are actually being done, because capacity is no good to anyone. A lot of people are dying, and that's the stark reality. We're not out of the woods just yet, not by a long shot. And as George Orwell said, political language is designed to make lies sound truthful and murder respectable. What experts, reality, deaths, people, there's so many that do not have to die. We need to know that. But yeah, guys, I'll leave it there for today. Comment with your thoughts on what I've been discussing. Like the video. Comment below with your thoughts on Johnson's speech, what I've discussed, how you think the government's approached the whole situation over the last 2 months. And I'll end on this. What I know for sure is that we are a long way off normality, a long way off. 2021, maybe 2022, whatever normality means, because yeah, the way we were going before, we know now that the world as it was, if we're classing that as normal, we've got a big problem. But because of the lack of effective, decisive action by this government, but also because a vaccine will take a significant amount of time to manufacture, we've got to just hang in there. We've got to hang in there. We will get through this, hopefully, inshallah. But yeah, that's all from me, guys. We'll see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, and take care. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.